Welcome to this explainer. First off, huge congratulations are in order, because if you're watching this, you probably just got a job offer, or you're getting super close to one. But hey, before you say yes, we really need to talk. Today, we're going to break down exactly how you can confidently negotiate your salary and actually secure the compensation you genuinely deserve, all without risking the offer itself. We're turning what is usually a terrifying, stressful process into a really simple, step-by-step playbook.
So let's dive right in. Are you leaving money behind? Well, the unfortunate reality is that most people simply accept the very first offer they get. You know the feeling. They feel relieved, maybe a little intimidated, so they just say yes right out of the gate. But by doing that, they are literally leaving thousands of dollars on the table over the course of their careers. The simple act of not asking can cost you dearly. To put that into perspective, professionals who just take a breath and negotiate typically see a 5 to 15% salary increase. Think about that for a second. That isn't just a one-time bonus, that's a permanent increase to your baseline. And that compounds into tens of thousands of dollars over just a few short years. Honestly, even just asking the question can add thousands to your bank account immediately.
To get that bump, here is our playbook for today. 1. The mindset shift. 2. The preparation phase. 3. The exact scripts. And 4. Pro tips for success.
Okay, step 1. The mindset shift. We need to move from fear to collaboration.
Look, the biggest hurdle for most folks is just fear, right? The fear that negotiating is somehow going to get your job offer rescinded. But here's the secret. Companies actually expect you to negotiate. You just need to shift away from feeling like you're demanding money and realize you're really just collaborating on value. You're simply having a polite conversation to find that middle ground where your skills and their budget meet.
Which brings us to step 2, the preparation phase. This is all about building your foundation.
You know, walking into a negotiation without data is just a total recipe for disaster. You really can't rely on your gut here. You need to follow 3 preparation steps. Step 1, do your research. You absolutely need to check resources like levels.fyi, Glassdoor, salary.com, and industry reports for your exact role, your exact experience level, and your location. Step 2, know your numbers. We'll get to that in just a second. And step 3, prepare proof. Actually write down your biggest achievements with quantifiable numbers attached. For example, I increased revenue by 25%, or I saved the team 40 hours a month. This quantifiable proof, that's your actual leverage. Now for step 2, knowing your numbers. You must have 3 specific figures locked in your brain before you ever open your mouth to negotiate. Number 1 is your minimum acceptable. That's the absolute lowest number you will take before walking away. Number 2 is your target number. This is your realistic, well-researched goal. And number 3 is your aspirational ask, a number just a little bit higher than your target. This gives you room to negotiate down while still hitting your main goal.
But hey, remember, your numbers aren't just about the base salary. Don't get tunnel vision here. You have to evaluate the entire compensation package holistically. You're negotiating a total package. So yes, base salary, but also consider a signing bonus, equity, paid time off, remote work days, and even the timeline for your next performance review. Knowing all these elements tells you exactly what levers you can pull during the discussion.
All right, let's move into step 3, the exact scripts. What to say and when to say it.
This is the execution phase. And honestly, this is the part of the explainer you'll probably want to screenshot or save for later. Let's set the stage for scenario 1. This happens when a recruiter asks for your number during the very first screening call, before you even really know the job details. It totally feels like a trap, right? Because if you go too low, you cap your earning potential. But if you go too high, you might price yourself out before you even interview.
So here's exactly what you say. You use this script. I'm really excited about this role and the impact I can make. I'd love to learn more about the responsibilities first so I can give you the most accurate number. What is the budgeted range for this position? Do you see what happened there? You politely pivoted the question right back to them. You expressed genuine excitement, but by asking for their budgeted range, you effectively protected your negotiating power.
Okay, let's look at scenario 2. You crushed the interviews, and you've officially received the offer via phone or email. You're staring right at the number. Now, it's time to make your counterproposal.
Here is your exact counter-offer script. You say, "Thank you so much for the offer. I'm genuinely thrilled about joining the company. That said, based on my research and my experience delivering insert your key achievement here, I was hoping for a base salary in the target range. Is there flexibility to meet closer to that? I'm very eager to make this work."
This script is incredibly effective. It highlights how thrilled you are, sure, but it firmly roots your ask in objective research and your past performance. It's professional, it's collaborative, and frankly, it's hard to argue with.
But what happens if they just say no? Well, that brings us to scenario 3. We need to discuss a pivot strategy for when a company genuinely does not have the budget to increase the base salary figure. Because sometimes their hands are truly tied by internal pay bands.
When that happens, you simply say, I completely understand. And then you look at alternative compensation options. You ask, would it be possible to add a signing bonus, an extra week of PTO, or maybe a performance review in 6 months with raise consideration? This proves exactly why you must consider the full package during your prep phase. If the base salary door closes, you just open a window for a signing bonus or some extra time off.
And when you're getting close to an agreement, here's your ultimate closing line. If we can get to this number, I'm ready to accept and start as soon as possible. This is incredibly powerful. It signals to the employer that you are ready to commit immediately and end their candidate search right then and there. If they can just meet your target number, it turns a maybe into a definitive yes.
Finally, Section 4, Pro Tips for Success. Let's go over a few advanced negotiation tactics.
To make sure you execute these scripts flawlessly, let's rapid fire through some advanced psychological and procedural tips. First off, always try to negotiate in writing when possible, just so you have a clear record of what was discussed. Second, use we language to make the whole conversation feel collaborative rather than combative. Third, and this is so important, silence is powerful. After you make your ask, just stop talking. Let them fill the silence. Fourth, if you have competing offers, mention them factually, never as a threat. Just state it as a matter of your market value. And finally, practice these scripts out loud. Actually saying the words builds muscle memory, so you sound confident, not nervous when the real moment arrives.
So here's the bottom line. Negotiating your salary is absolutely one of the highest ROI things you can ever do for your career. You've already done the incredibly hard work to earn this job offer. You proved your value in the interviews. The question I want to leave you with today is this. Are you willing to advocate for your true value, or are you going to let someone else decide what you're worth? Keep these strategies handy, go out there and get paid exactly what you deserve.